Good morning. We'll call the State Government Committee to order. Clerk, please call the roll.
Representative Sells?
Here.
Representative Bedsole? Dr. Boyd? Representative Butler? Representative Chestnut? Representative Keel? Representative Kirkland? Representative Lands? Representative Lawrence? Representative Paramore? Representative Shaw? Representative Stothagen? Representative Wood? Representative Yarborough? We have a quorum.
Okay, welcome everyone to State Government Committee meeting. Maybe it's the last one of the year. First up will be SB 13. Representative Moody.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm here for Senator Allen. This is his bill that passed the Senate, which would require that local school systems set up and come up with their plan for how once a week the national anthem of our country would be presented in the school. It could be by recording for the first verse, which is what we all sing at ball games and things. Thank you, sir.
Okay, any further questions?
I can't argue with that.
Representative Lands?
Thank you. So, as I understand it, this would be at the school's discretion on when this would be played?
There's no restriction. It's just once a week, and it's that's the only thing that it says. It would be K-12, the K through 12 schools, and it would be the local board of education selecting how things are done, and the school would just, be a part of it to play it once a week.
Okay, and why did we pick this?
And
feel that, yeah.
I can't speak completely to that question for Senator Allen, but it is the national anthem of our nation. And we play it at our sporting events, and our children, I believe, grow up understanding that it is the national anthem, and it helps them to be patriots for our country and that type thing. And that's really all. It's not about anything else other than just being sure that we provide those opportunities for young people to know about the history of their country from the national anthem standpoint and all, and sing it, learn about other things in history or civics or whatever.
And I understand that. I think my concern is just our kids are growing up in such noise-filled worlds, and there's so much coming at them and distracting them all day long. I'd like to see us have a moment of quiet so our minds could rest a little bit. So it's not that I'm not for the national anthem. I just feel like we don't need to be adding other things in at this point. We need to give kids sort of a break from all the oncoming and incoming. And that's my only point.
Thank you, Ms. Lands. I understand that, and I certainly would agree that having a time of quiet is meaningful, and I believe very strongly that singing the national anthem or hearing it presented in some manner that they can choose from all sorts of things is a beneficial thing to the students. It's in a sense, I think, a calming thing. Let's be excited about their country.
Okay, thank you. Any further questions? Representative?
Thank you so much.
Representative Boyd?
Why not leave this representative to local school boards when there's already provisions there for what you're asking for?
My understanding is that this is at the development of this how it's done is that up to the local school board. It's just a requirement that once a week the national anthem be a part of the learning process in the school.
I have a follow-up question.
Pardon
I'd
me?
like for the Negro national anthem to be a part of the curriculum each day. I'm not fighting for myself, but I'm thinking of all my 45 years in education, how many parental groups, they're here, they're there, and why is this bill necessary at all? I know that you're doing it for Senator Alley. My concern is I grew up singing James Weldon Johnson, Lift Every Voice and Sing, which to many people, and me included, the national Star-Spangled Banner is just as important. I'm a little confused after 45 years of being around a little bit. of what are we dealing with and why are we having to deal with this right now?
About 100 years ago, our nation adopted it as the national song for our nation. And it's our belief that it should be a part of the process of education.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I know you want me to shut up, but I'm after this.
No, ma'am, you can
I
talk.
could sit here in this chair all day long and think of reasons and think of more animosity, more hidden agendas. I don't want to say racism. I don't want to go there. Time changes and trends and everything. We are what we are because we are brought up to be what we are.
Yes, ma'am.
I've been around here a long time with
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
You've been around here a long time with me.
Yes, ma'am.
There's some things I don't fake and don't play with, and there's no cost or nothing that you, because I've been brought up in a way. All I want to say, to God be the glory,
Amen.
and keep on praying for America, period. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Thank you. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
I do.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Bill passes. Okay, next up is SB 278, Senator Shelnutt.
I'm Susan DuBose. I'm representing Senator Shelnutt today for SB 278. This bill did pass out of the Senate with bipartisan support, and this bill simply allows public school students to enrich their school opportunities with an optional religious class. The bill simply requires our school districts to create a policy that allows students to attend an off-campus religious class during the school day. It costs the taxpayer dollars zero. This is probably the least obtrusive piece of legislation you will see before you this whole session. Students in blue and red states, thousands of them across our nation, have participated in this type of religious release program for decades. States like Hawaii, New York, Vermont, Ohio, and Michigan all have programs that state they shall be implemented. I know we have a public hearing today, and there's a lot more I could say about that at this point,
Okay,
and I'll
bring
be
you
happy
back
to
up.
make some comments afterwards.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll start our public hearing now. Each speaker will have 2 minutes, and we'll have our timer, so you adjust your speech accordingly. You'll be able to keep up with your own time. Okay, please call the first speaker.
Sonny Cotton.
Mr. Chairman and members of the committee, thank you for the opportunity to testify today. My name is Sonny Cotton, a proud Alabamian and the Alabama State Director for LifeWise Academy. I'm also the wife of a 7th grade public school math teacher and coach, and the former director of an at-risk youth program that partnered with our public school system. I've seen firsthand how deeply students are struggling and how desperately families are looking for help. That's why I support Senate Bill 278. This bill strengthens parental rights and protects religious freedom while giving parents the choice to provide religious instruction for their children during the school day. LifeWise Academy is a release time program already operating in nearly 600 public schools nationwide, with over 900 preparing to launch next year. This growth reflects a nationwide desire among families of all backgrounds to incorporate Bible education into their children's school day. With parental permission, LifeWise offers voluntary Bible-based character education, and it's community-supported, non-disruptive to academics, and locally driven. Here in Alabama, nearly 4,500 people have already signed to bring LifeWise to their school district. But our model doesn't start with schools. It starts with communities. Local teams must gather at least 50 signatures that represent at least 3 churches before we even approach the school. Then they create a custom plan that works with the school's schedule without interrupting core academics. The way that this works is first, parents must give consent. Second, the sponsoring entity must assume all cost and liability. And third, must take place off school grounds. This is usually in a building or church within walking distance or a short bus ride to the school. 12 states, including Florida, Tennessee, and most recently Kentucky, have clarified access to release time. We ask Alabama to do the same. Parents across Alabama are ready. Communities are organized. The opportunity is now. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, please call the next.
Ryan Hollingsworth.
Good morning. Ryan Hollingsworth, Executive Director, School Superintendents of Alabama. We oppose SB 278 as written, and we'd ask you to vote no today in committee, and if it makes it to the floor, the same. There are some important terms that are not currently defined in the bill that you have before you, one being core instruction. The assumption would be that it would be math, science, English, and history, but that's not defined. Second is religious instruction, and third is the sponsoring entity. There's no definition for what that would be or who that would be. So as the way I read the bill, I, as a grandparent, could take my grandchild out of school during this time that this bill would be required to be set up in the school, and I could take them to a batting cage and play religious music in the background and call that religious instruction, or just say I play the music and don't. So there's all kind of scenarios, and it's pretty wide open. So we're very concerned about that. There was mention about 4,500 names signed to some petition. I don't know. I don't believe those are verified as being parents of Alabama students in public schools. And if they are, even if they are, we have about 725,000 students, so that's about 0.5% of folks that have signed up. And we have multiple districts already offering this because we passed a law in 19 that said you may do this, and so we've had some districts that had the community support and brought it forward and put it in place. We have 1,080 hours in a school year to cover everything the state board requires in acts that you pass that we have to cover during the school day. There's 8,760 hours in a calendar year. That means the parent has the responsibility of the child about 88% of the time. To me, if that's important to you as a parent, you find the time to make that happen. To me, it was. It was for me. And I brought my two children up in the nurture and admonition of the Lord, as Paul commands us to do in Ephesians 6:4. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Jennifer Riggs.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. My name's Jennifer Riggs, and this is my son, Isaac. I'll begin by saying thank you so much for the opportunity to come and share my heart with you today about a bill that I believe has the potential to eternally impact us for good. I hope you'll support SB 278. The district where we live and love to call home is Madison County. My husband and I deliberately chose to move into the community where we live in Madison County because the public schools there, we believe, are some of the best. We are a single income family of 6. We knew from the time of having our firstborn to our fourth that homeschooling nor private schooling were options for our family. That being said, we strongly embrace the responsibility of training up our children in the way they should go according to a biblical understanding of being a Christ follower. We believe part of that training process is to frequently posture our children where they have access to grow in their understanding of the Bible and further their faith. But as you all know, 5 days per week, 7 hours per day, in the public school, the Bible is not being taught. We believe a release time for religious instruction program would bridge that gap. When we approached our superintendent for a meeting, we were told that he could not accommodate this program. I and over 150 parents like me in the Madison County District would like the same opportunities for our children as other districts in our state who are accommodating a release time for religious instruction program. I believe you all are legislation that upholds parental rights by allowing us to choose Bible education for our children without having to incur the financial burdens of private school. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you.
Scott Suttle.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm Chairman Sales and the committee. I'm Scott Suttle. I'm the president of the St. Clair County Board of Education and the president-elect for AASB. I wanted to speak against SB 278. Our local leaders have been abundantly clear that we don't want another overreach into our school systems. Just like SB 278, just like Companion Bill 342 in the House failed in committee 9-2, it would change from allowing this type of instruction to mandating it. Folks, we have a law that works. It works well. In 2019, AASB worked with Representative Garrett to introduce this law, and it works well as it stands. We'd like to not see it change. We in St. Clair County actually worked with the church in our county to adopt a respectfully, that's the wrong question. Ask your board members, is this what they want? Is this what they need? Is this what they need in their communities? I assure you that school boards listen, and if the advocates want to see this, if they come to a school board, speak to their board, they will listen, not send an email, not call the central office, talk to their board members. They're sensitive to the needs of their community. Likewise, we have just not seen a word changed in our law. It works as it is. Let's please leave it as it is. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Carter Harsh.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, thank you for the opportunity to speak this morning. My name is Carter Harsh, and I'm a retired physician from Birmingham. More importantly, I'm a parent and grandparent. And I first became aware of RTI legislation about 3 years ago, and some friends and I got interested in this because it seemed to be an opportunity to enable parents to make great choices for their children, allowing them to become great citizens. And as we investigated the state of Alabama, then there was essentially a disparity among implementation of the present laws, such that some communities were allowed to have RTRI and other communities were not. This was borne out in other states who've gone ahead and made the transfer from may legislation to shall legislation. And that's important because as it exists now, there is a hodgepodge, a patchwork of opportunities and inequities in the system. Changing from a may state to a shall state will eliminate that hodgepodge and the confusion that goes with it, giving all parents the appropriate opportunity to make great decisions for their children. There are some objections, of course, as you've heard some of them this morning. We would contend that the previous legislation, 2019, mentioned is not to address religious issues and does not have the backing of the Supreme Court as the RTRI legislation does. Secondly, schools are actually allowed to maintain authority. They make the rules, they set the schedules, the coming and going to make sure things flow smoothly. They're able to review the curriculum, and it's all voluntary. It's for parents who want this for their children. The last point I would make is that this addresses in particular the needs of kids who are dependent on the school busing system, the public school system. Their parents may not drive, they may not have the opportunity because of their work to pick up their kids, so before and after school options are not available to those kids.
Tom.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, Representative DuBose. Okay.
Thank you, and thank you all for your comments today. I really appreciate your continued efforts to advance this bill. It's very, very important to us. And one thing I did want to add that I don't know that we really clarified, but the Supreme Court ruled in 1952 that religious release programs are constitutional. And since that time, they have been taking place in thousands of schools throughout our country. They have been more popular in other areas other than Alabama. So this is an opportunity where we want to spread this religious opportunity on an optional basis to our schools. So just a couple of things I wanted to comment about, just so I can respond to what was said here.
Okay,
would that be okay with you?
we are almost running out of time.
Okay.
Okay, we have. Okay.
I think I know where this is headed today, and that's fine. But I know this was in ed policy that you and I both serve on. And we know what the outcome of that committee meeting was. So here we are in another committee trying to get a bill that was voted down back out and on the floor in a different format. So my districts all have this under the May. One of my superintendents is the head deacon at his Baptist church. He does not want this bill. So I know where this is going. I'm not going to stand in the way, but I just wanted to make some comments and make it clear for what Mr. Hollingsworth said earlier. This has already been before a body in this House once this year, and here we are again. So thank you.
And this is Senator Shay Shelnutt that passed out of the
I understand
Senate
it's a Senate
committee.
bill, but it's the same bill.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Paramore. Representative Lance?
Thank you. I have a comment, and also I'd like to ask for a roll call vote. And I'm not against religious release, but I have to side with the superintendents. And when the people that run our schools feel like this is not the best use of time or the best way to structure what happens during the school day for our kids, I have to side with them. Also, the mail that I've gotten is overwhelmingly against this, so I have to respond to my constituents. And I feel like we continue to do things that I think are simply overreach here, and mandate things at the state level that should be handled locally. And also, I find that we want parental rights and parental control, and then we go and do something that seems to be working against that, or it just seems like you can't have it both ways. So I just want to offer that, and I'd like to ask for a roll call vote.
Okay, and let me just respond. A lot of what we are hearing from and what you get letters from is from the associations. There are a lot of superintendents that are in favor of this, and I might note that in Jefferson County, the superintendent of the year for the nation, Dr. Gosling, who we honored here on our floor, is actually implementing religious release. He's actually going to be using some of this lifeline curriculum in some of his schools, and he is the nation's #1 superintendent. So I really consider him to be very knowledgeable in his field. He's comfortable with this. He's not afraid of it. So
Okay, thank you. We have a request for a roll call vote. Clerk, please call the roll.
Representative Sells?
Yes.
Representative Bedsall?
No.
Dr. Boyd?
Wait just a minute. I had a comment before you taking a roll call.
Okay,
vote.
we've got just a couple of minutes to get into session. They can't start until we finish, so be quick, Mr. Boyd.
Now, that's a mandate right there, a violation of one's right. I respect you, Mr. Chairman. But many, many years ago, I heard somebody from a private school said public schools had not done. I taught many years the Bible as a second language. I chose to use most of the poetic verses and all. You know, Mr. Chairman.
Ms. Boyd, I believe if school was like it was when me and you went to school, I believe we wouldn't have problems like we have right now.
What did you say?
I said I wish school was still like it was when we went to school.
Oh, no. Amen, praise God. I guess you're trying to shut me up. And that one will move the agenda, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, Clerk, please go ahead.
Dr. Boyd?
No.
Representative Butler? Yes. Representative Chestnut? Representative Keel?
Yes.
Representative Kirkland?
No.
Representative Lands? No. Representative Lawrence? Representative Paramore?
No.
Representative Shaw?
Aye.
Representative Stothagen? Representative Wood? Representative Yarborough?
Yes.
We're going to have to make a phone call. Actually have a tie vote. First time that's ever happened.
Mr. Chairman, you should have waited out until the end, and you should have been the one to
Okay.
break it.
It doesn't pass. Yeah, I don't think it doesn't pass, Mr. Chairman.
What?
It has to have majority, so it doesn't pass.
Okay, looks like the bill fails. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
He said it failed.
Okay, that concludes our meeting. Thank you. We're adjourned.
He said it failed.
Yes, ma'am, because it didn't do.
Because I know, but normally the chairman will wait out to the end. I'm not going to vote
On another person.
Normally, the chairman will wait when you count at the beginning to see. So if